Hello everybody, this is me Arturas and that's my BMW E9, which was made in 2005, and today it means that it's basically an old car, and old cars have issues. One of them being is the wet floor carpet, which is really annoying, especially on those colder and rain heavier months. And the reasons for this to happen, it could be different, and there are multiple of them. One of them is it could be a clogged sunroof drainage. It could even be a cracked heater matrix under your dashboard. It could be a door insulation failing, which is exactly my case. And the good thing about it is that fix is quite simple and straightforward. It will need some very basic tools and basic mechanical skills, time-wise and labor effort. I would say that would take about 2 to 3 hours, especially if doing the first time. About the tools are very basic. You will need some sealant to seal it. You will need a screwdriver with the head of T20 Torx. We will need some very basic trim removal tools, and basically that is it. The tool wise. And of course you will need a pair of hands, one being left and one being right. So jokes aside, let's get those hands on and see how we can fix that problem. So before we get started, we need to get rid of door cards, because on the door cards there are some bolts hidden which we need to unscrew, so we could move them up. And don't be hurry, otherwise you could break that strip. And that's the last one, so let's put this aside. So we just got that trim bezel removed, and here I found, I think, 3 bolts keeping it in place. So those are Torx T20, so let's try to get them out. So it moves a little bit, so I think now it's quiet now. Oops, here it is. You heard that? I think it's coming off little by little. Bonk. Bonk. So that was easy. So now we need to remove all the wires and the cables it has. So before we do it, let me move the camera. So going further, we need to disconnect all the wiring and the cables that is used to operate the door handle. So that one is quite easy. So it's removed. One more is for the door speaker. That was easy. And Next one is down below, used for lighting. Here it is. And the last one is for the master window control unit. It has connecting, so there's a little knob you need to press in and unlock unlock it from its place. So here it is. Everything is disassembled, so for now we can put away the card itself. So now let's take a look what do we have under the door card. So let me explain where basically the problem comes from and where the draining water is coming through and how it gets into your interior on your floor carpet. So the problem lies in this OE double-sided tape. It's some, I don't know, it looks like a tape, something like a tape. So long time ago, when the car was new, it was soft and sticky, and it have kept that foam in place. But due to car age, it's not functional. It doesn't serve its function anymore, so all that foam is starting to fall off. If you look at the other places of it, you can see that it's falling off. So that's how I found it. So here you can see, and I have identified that the water is falling from there down there, getting on the door sills, making those wet, and later it's going on your carpet. So I think we need to remove that whole insulation away. The insulation itself is in good condition, only the double-sided tape is not that good, so we will remove that and reseal it newly. So one more thing is, you probably have noticed on previous moment of the video that how much of the dirt is gathered here down below on the door itself. So this probably happens due to water falling down to the door, and because of that thing, as I mentioned before, does no function of it anymore. So the door card itself, even that one has some of the dirt gathered here, so it basically identifies that it got some wet gathered, so that's why it looks so dirty. So let's remove now this dead ending. It should fall off easily. Actually, it has some of the places where it's still sticky and is being kept in the place safely, but nevertheless we're going to remove entirely that sealing and reseal it. Here it is. It's in good condition, so let's put this away, so later we will reseal it. Now I'll start to remove double-sided tape. Actually, I wouldn't call it a tape, but it's some of very soft piece of rubber which is sticky. To be honest, I'm not sure what kind of material is that, so that's what basically it is. I find the way how to remove it in an efficient way. So once you remove the little ending of it, start keeping the pace, because if the pace is sufficient, it's actually coming off really nicely. But if you move a little bit slower, it will break down and you need to start again. So now you can see that, or probably you can't, I'm not quite sure, but there is some of the remains of it left on the surfaces. So we will remove it by using some kind of dissolvent, and probably I think acetone will serve that purpose. It is. I have tested it on that material. Here's the material. That's what is left once I remove that. So to remove the nails, we will use some acetone here to get yourself some piece of the rag, and by rubbing the nails, those are coming off really nicely and easily. And on top, acetone won't damage the paint on the door, and on top it will help to prepare the surfaces to have those really clean, so we could put some kind of glue or sealant back to original places. So I think it's done. So now the glue or sealant, whatever you call it. So for this purpose I chose it to be some kind of thing called, it's based on MSP 423 MS polymer. So basically it's a polymer. So going back to the dead ending or insulation, whatever we call that. So I have applied the sealant I mentioned before. So I put really thin and continuous path of it. So let's try to apply it back on the door. So be careful with it. So I'll suggest to start from this corner, since it, so put the lining way. So as you can probably see, some of the sealant is left on the door, so we will remove it later. So I have already noticed that initial tag is not that good. It could be better. So I'll need to watch for this, and probably I will be forced to secure it manually by my hands until it gets sticky. In the beginning I was worried that initial tag of the polymer I chose is not that good, or it's not something I could think of, but I don't know, maybe after 10 minutes or 20 minutes I see that it starts to cure, and it's already glued completely in some places, and in other places there were a little bit worse. So I am putting that additional quality duct tape, so in order to secure it and to give it a better isolation. So basically that is it. So I'll go around it with that duct tape. So be sure you chose really quality duct tape, which is waterproof, which is suitable to be used outside. Same applies for the sealant or glue you choose to use. So now I'll wait a couple of minutes more so it cures completely. So you can see around that insulation there is some duct tape put on, just in case, to provide additional security for it in the time when I will put the card back. And also I think it will help to have a better insulation. So the sealant or glue, whatever you call that, I try to remove that foam by dragging it. So without a luck I wasn't able to do that. So I guess it says that it's already cured, because I can't move that anymore. It's really firm. So that is it. So I'm going to put back door card where it belongs, and basically that concludes the how-to I wanted to present you. One more thing. Door card itself, it has the clips which goes into the places they should go to, and it secures entire door card. I was warned before dismantling it that be prepared and have some of spare clips so you could fix it in case you broke some of them once you dismantle it. But luckily, I don't know, maybe it was some luck, as I think I haven't broke anything here. So since nothing is broken, so let's put it back. So cables first. And now back on the clips. The first one is successfully. Now the top of it. I think it's there. It doesn't move. Stands the same way as I started the work on. So I think let's put the bolts back on. So bolts keeping it are torqued normally. Those are back in place. Now there are some more clips I would like to talk about. Those you can find in the door card here. Some of them sometimes got out together with the bolts, so you could either unscrew those so you could put back in the slots, or you can put as it is, because that one in particular, it looks really stiff and completely its own place. So I won't play around with it. I'll put it back and see if it fits normally. One more thing, there is the clip which should go like this, so watch for that once you put it back. So here it is. I still found some of the wet in the carpet after maybe more than 5 hours rain happening outside. So I decided to remove the door card and pull the hose in the garden and to spill some water on the door and see where it actually comes from. So it's coming right under dead ending. As you can see, the drops are falling here and there, so I need to remove that tape and see where did we fail with the polymer. It's the next day, and today I'm in the car wash. What I'm going to do is to repeat the test of water falling on the window and see if the drops still accumulate on the door sill. The only difference is that I have entirely resealed bottom part of dead ending. I think the polymer now is good cured, and let's see what will happen after the test. Right after the wash, I just gave a couple of minutes to let the water to soak in the door and to get inside. So now let's see what's have happened on the door sill. For us, the most important piece, as you can see here on the side skirt, there are some water aggregated there and there maybe, but the door seal itself is completely dry. I can't see any of the drops on it, so I'm very glad with the result. So that is it. I'm really happy about the fix because it's working now, and the water, the rainwater, don't get inside anymore. I would like to say thank you to everyone who has spent watching this video. I really hope it helped someone. And in the meantime, before I say goodbye, I would like to ask you to put any of the comments if you have on any of the topic. Those could be about the fix, those could be about the video itself. So again, thank you for watching and goodbye.